This one right.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I find it somewhat unfortunate in the sense that, you know, just under 6 months ago, Canada elected a new Prime Minister, which put together a number of agenda items that came out of the election. One of the commitments that the Prime Minister has made was to bring forward bail reform legislation that is going to be coming out this fall. Now, the Conservatives, in a preemptive strike, feel that, you know what we're going to do? We're going to try to come out saying we're tough and blame the Prime Minister for not doing enough. There's a responsibility of the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, to do the proper consultation, work with the Cabinet and the many different stakeholders in order to present that bail reform legislation. Does the member not recognize that there is that need, and can he not be patient and wait?
Order. We'll have a little order. The honourable member for Oxford.
That is absolutely ridiculous. The Prime Minister, who was supposed to be this new, shiny Prime Minister, promised to get changes done right away. In his own words, he said he'll be decisive. Every single day that goes by, Mr. Speaker, 1,600 people are victims of crime. The member talks about being patient. He wants us to be patient when people are dying in this country. Shame on them. Shame on them, because people are actually dying. When Bailey McCord's family is calling us and crying in tears because her daughter would have been alive if my bill had been passed, that's something they should wake up and look at, because Canadians are dying and it's their inaction. They're all about photo ops. They're all about, you know, the headlines. Why are they delaying action? It is their policies that cause problems. It's their bill reform ideas in 2019 that have destroyed our country. Enough is enough. Let's bring back safe streets.
The honourable member for Shefford. I'd like to thank my colleague for his speech. In the list of serious offences in today's motion, we have aggravated sexual assault. First of all, I'd like to know exactly how my colleague would define that. We've been studying this at the Status of Women Committee. I brought in a motion about crimes against women. I also brought in a motion about criminalizing coercive control. And there will also be a motion about victims in the justice system generally. So I'd like to hear what my colleague thinks of all this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the honourable colleague for her intervention and for all the work she is doing on advocating for women and against intimate partner violence. We have seen a massive rise from this government's policies of women being abused and killed. I've talked about this in the past as well. Kate Alexander, who runs a charity, End Violence Everywhere, was also a victim of abuse from her ex-partner. She was left there to die, and her ex-partner got bail for only $500. So much so, she was so scared that she left the country and is now living in the States. So the problem is very, very real. And by making it a major offense category, it will be a reverse onus for those that commit those crimes so that they have to prove why they should be released, not the other way around. On this side of the House, we will stand with women and we'll make sure there's safe streets back in our country.
Question and comments. The honourable member for Elgin St. Thomas, London South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm very grateful to my colleague from Oxford for his work on this. I know when he was talking about the Bailey McCord case, there was some groaning from the Liberal side of the aisle, which is, I think, very offensive, as it is to all victims of crime and their families, especially when we know of tangible changes in law that can improve this situation and legitimately save lives. And I wanted to ask my colleague, because his riding of Oxford is right next to mine, and I know he has a lot of rural communities, as I do. And we have seen in these rural communities a decline in feelings of safety and security. And I wanted to ask if he could speak to that and what that means and what this bill will do for them.
Oxford, 30 seconds or less.
Mr. Speaker, I've been meeting with Woodstock Police and with the Crowns in our office, along with the OPP, and I want to thank the member for his intervention and great work on the work he's been doing, advocating for rural communities across Canada. He's right. Canadians in rural communities don't feel safe. Once safe communities, once safe neighborhoods are now being targeted by repeat violent offenders. Just in Plattsville, 20 minutes from my place, we had a repeat violent offender break and enter a home and bash a car and take that car away. This is now becoming the norm, whether it's rural communities like Oxford or if it's big cities like Toronto.